Hello my friends, Gary Goes and fellow poets, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would do something we haven't done before, and it's a bit of a throwback as well, so that's nice, isn't it? Something new with something old. Now we just need something blue. Um, we're going to throw back to these old collections, celebrity books. I mean, you know what this video is, you've seen the title. I'm going to rank them. But before we do any of that, please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. It really does genuinely help the channel. And if you like the video, that's the best way to show your appreciation, is by just hitting that like button. It's completely free and just takes a couple of seconds, but it really helps me. If you want to take that one step further and you really love poetry, then you have found the right channel. This channel is everything poetry related. So please, if you do like this video, if you do like poetry, do consider hitting that subscribe button. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Past 4 years, I've been reviewing celebrity poetry books. I mean, they're just poetry books that happen to be written by celebrities. The first one was Bella Thorne's Life of a Wannabe Mogul. Thankfully, I've got most of the books here with me. Florence Welch's book has gone into storage because it was taking up so much book space, which I'm kind of gutted about because I wanted to refresh my memory with all of this, just so it's a very fair video, right? But yeah, it's not here, which is a shame. So 4 years ago, I started the venture down celebrity poetry book avenue. For the OGs of the channel, you probably already know who's got the #1 spot, but who do I put last? Who comes in last? That'll be interesting. That kind of sucks, actually. You know, I'm not a huge fan of poetry slams because I don't think poetry should be competitive. So I don't go to poetry slams. I don't think there's a winner in poetry or a loser. So that kind of feels weird to say and against my thing. But what's really important, guys, and please listen to this and take this in. What's really important is that poetry is subjective, right? So your list will be completely different to my list. Also, please keep in mind that this isn't based on just poetry. I've received more than once comments in my review videos about why do I take so long to get to the poetry. The thing is, when I do these videos, I like to look at the book as a whole. I know a lot of you guys self-publish your poetry books, and I think that watching a review video on the book as a whole can be really valuable, and there are lessons to be learned. But with this tier list, I'm not ranking them poetry, although of course that's going to be a big part of it. It's actually an overview. I'm going to take everything into consideration with these books, from the formatting, from the design, from everything, themes, subject, and craft. Okay, so let's get started. As I say, long-time viewers know exactly who I'm going to put in first place, and that is Lana Del Rey's Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass. I'm going to do that first because that really doesn't come as a surprise to you guys. If you're watching, now you know. If you're watching for the first time, now you know. Lana Del Rey's Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass is probably one of my favorite poetry collections of all time. It was definitely my favorite poetry collection that came out in this year, which was, okay, it's at the back, 2020. Oh my God, 4 years ago. Time flies. I just love everything about this book. I love, um, well, I love the cover, but I really love the design of this book. It's got like photographs, which will come up again. I love the typewriter font, but also there are actual pictures of the poem from like the page straight out of the typewriter, right? I don't know, that style for me, like here, with a little handwritten correction. That style is just my vibe, and it feels super personal. I'm sure that every poet that I mentioned today, no doubt, will say that their poem, their poetry is super personal. Their book is super personal, no doubt. But for some reason, this just really feels like I'm holding Lana Del Rey's sort of journal or poetry book, diary sort of thing. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's just go and throw that straight at number one. So that's number one. Violet bent backwards over the grass. Now, number two, trying to figure out number two is a little bit more difficult, is a little bit more considered. And I think I'm pretty certain that I'm going to get so much backlash for doing this, but you know what? This is my list. This is my list. Stay away. No, as I say, things are subjective. This is my list. And again, I'm looking at the book as a whole and not just the poetry inside. Although I liked I liked this poetry. I know a lot of people didn't, but the number two spot is going to be Megan Fox's Pretty Boys Are Poisonous. So let me just put that in the number two spot and allow the hate to come at me. I'm sure. What really did it for me to put this in the number two spot are the illustrations. I mean, just look at that. We're so used to what I call the line illustrations that, kind of flooded our poetry books for a good 3 years or so. Look at that. That's just for me, the illustrations really, really kind of um made it take second spot. I like the sort of fairy tale type font as well. It feels like I'm opening a fairy tale, which is kind of ironic because of the content matter and stuff. And I do genuinely like sort of nitty-gritty, darker themes. So again, that's the sort of thing that makes things subjective, right? What you kind of lean towards and what you're attracted to. And that is that for me. Also, I really like the cover. I like the I like the material used. I don't know, it's sort of rubbery, but it's also sort of not. Anyone that's self-published might understand what I mean by a rubbery cover. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of what that is and why that has suddenly become like the norm for poetry books. If anyone knows, seriously, guys, if anyone knows what material these book covers are starting to be made out of, please let me know in the comments section below and educate me. So, the spot for third, drum roll please. I tried not to be biased. I try not to be biased, but again, it's difficult because it's you're tearing things out of your tastes, as well as as well as what's the word? Execution, as well as execution. So for third place, it was close. I'm gonna go with Coincidence of Memory. Again, we're looking at the book as a whole. I just love the photos that are in here. I love the size, the book size. It's like a coffee table book, which was really, really nice and has inspired an idea in me. But I will tell you about that more later. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications as well if you want to know what that idea is. Most of you probably don't give a shit, but some of you might. The ones that do give a shit are probably already subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, let's move this into third spot. Viggo Mortensen's Coincidence of Memory. Also, they do have some photos from the Lord of the Rings set in 2000, which might have helped. There's also some really cool works of art by Viggo. And I love the glossy paper. Admittedly, I'll be honest with you. I didn't connect to all of the poems, but there were some good ones. I love this photo as well. I didn't realize that Viggo actually has a number of poetry books. So, this was just the first one I came across. So, you guys are probably screaming at me right now. Screaming at me about the order of my selection. But in fourth place, I'm going to go with Useless Magic. like Lana Del Rey, Florence is a songwriter, and you can definitely tell. And maybe, um, unfortunately, Florence has been moved down the pecking order just because I don't have the book in front of me to remind me of it, and I'm going by memory. But I do remember it not wholly grabbing me. It didn't like massively grab me from what I can remember. Uh, there wasn't. I never walked away from it going like, "Whoa, that was so good," or "Wow, I feel inspired." Unfortunately, someone might come into the comment section, and please do. If you're a Florence Welch fan and you love this book, come to its defense in the comment section and prove me wrong. But do it nicely, please. Um, but I just don't remember walking away feeling inspired or wanting to go and write. So far, these books have all sort of inspired something inside of me, um, and made me want to go and do something from reading that. So, unfortunately, that's why Florence Welch, Useless Magic, comes in at 4th place. So, now we move on to 5th place. Who got 5? Who got 5th? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to count from 3, and you got to put your guesses in the comment section. You got to type super fast. Hopefully, you've already started. I've kind of helped you out there. So 3, 2, 1, boom. Who do you think got 5th place? Right, okay. It's going to be Bella Thorne. Okay. It's going to be Bella Thorne. I remember reading and this is where this journey started. This is where the celebrity poetry journey started. I don't hate this book, actually. I kind of weirdly, it's in 5th place, but weirdly, uh, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. There's loads of pages folded down here. I guess I was sort of, it was the first review video I did, so maybe I was super in depth. You know, this book does have really great illustrations in it. It also has pictures straight from the typewriter, which is what I loved about Lana Del Rey. So I don't even know. Maybe the publishers or maybe Lana Del Rey took inspiration from this book. I believe this book came out first. When was Lana Del Rey? 2020, wasn't it? It's not published by the same people. So let's just quickly check when this was published. So this was published a year before Violet. So maybe Lana Del Rey even took inspiration from this. And it is a really well put together book. As I say, I love the pictures of the typewriter and straight from the typewriter. I really love that. It just felt like I wanted more. Like I wanted Bella Thorne to go in depth with it more. And you know what? This says volume 1. As far as I know, there isn't a volume 2 yet. But I would be willing to buy a volume 2. I actually like this book. I actually respect this book. It's just unfortunate that Florence Welch happens to be a songwriter, so there is craft to it. But this is just pure raw expression, which I totally respect. So I could, do you know what? Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I am gonna do it. I'm gonna swap these round actually. I do really respect this. I do really think this is like raw emotion and fair play to that. I like the way it's put together. Um, again, it does feel like I'm holding a part of Bella Thorne here. You know, I feel like I'm holding part of her soul here. It's so sort of whereas Useless Magic, it is a Penguin book. It's very well put together. The poetry is very good and crafted and stuff. But I like a bit of edge. I like a bit of edgy. I like a bit of darkness. So yeah, I feel better about that actually. Oh, Florence Welch fans are gonna kill me. So this would be number 4. Useless Magic would be number 5. The YouTube poetry community is absolutely gonna rip me apart, but I please just understand these things are subjective, and what I enjoy from poetry is going to be different from what you enjoy from poetry. I do have to respect just the pure sort of emotion on the page uh, over craft. But yeah, please be nice. Please be respectful. So, number 6 comes Lily Reinhardt, Swimming Lessons. It's a lovely. I think I said this in my review video. I'm not the target audience for this by any means at all. So, keep that in mind as well. But I didn't walk away from this wholly empty-handed. There is actually something in this book that I sort of stole or borrowed for early hours. And I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But yeah, this book, I'm not the target audience. I think this is very much written for Lily's fan base and stuff, which I would imagine, I assume, is younger ladies, perhaps. I think I judged the book quickly because of the illustrations, which is the line illustrations that I talk about, um, that sort of just flooded our poetry books because of, I think Rupi Kaur started it, and then every poetry book thereafter for like 4 or 5. That's a long time. Well, maybe actually. My sense of timing is just like since the big C. Uh, for a long time, all of our poetry books had it. So I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. But I never really connected to many of these poems. Thankfully, I've still got pages folded down from my review books. So let's just quickly. How can it be love if you don't fear the loss of them? See, I wish I would have kissed you harder before I left this morning. That's the kind of stuff that I mean. That's kind of what got it such a low rating, I guess. But again, it wasn't made for me. I love the formatting. I love, some of these books just have a plain page. If you're gonna do that, if you have to do that, you guys know I hate that because I'm all about, using up all the page and resources better. But at least they made the effort to make it red. I thought that was a nice touch. So what did I take from this book? One thing that I took from this book, that I actually took from this book, is at the end of every poem, there's a little square with LR, Lily Reinhardt. And I actually used that in the early hours as a divider because I always say in my review videos, if you're gonna have micro poems, then put more than one on a page. So I took that. Anyone that's got a copy of the early hours, and if you haven't got a copy of the early hours, adamgary.co.uk/shop, get a signed edition. I think I've got 4 left, maybe even 3 left before they sell out. I would love that. And then you can tier my book and probably put it 6th. But yeah, I'd love that if you'd like to support in that way. I'd love that so much. That's where that AG came from. For those of you that do have the book, it literally came straight from this book. So it wasn't a complete not disaster. It's not a disaster. People love this book because it's subjective. That's what they relate to. I don't know what the word is. It wasn't a complete no go. Fuck knows. I don't know what the word is. But I took something away from it, but it just wasn't for me, and that's okay. It wasn't made for me, so that's cool. So that's my tier list of celebrity poetry books. I can't say it enough. It's all subjective. If you do completely disagree with the way I've tiered it, please don't be silent about it. Please let me know how you would tier it down in the comments below. Just keep it respectful. Be nice. There are also so many other celebrity poetry books out there that I don't have yet and I haven't read. One of the celebrity books I have read that I didn't include in this video is Dacre Montgomery's DKMH, so I guess I'll have to just buy some more celebrity poetry books and make a part 2 to this video. If there are any celebrity poetry books you'd like to see me read and review and then tier, let me know again in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds, but genuinely there's a reason why YouTubers ask for it. It really does help the channel out. Or if you'd really like to show your love and support and help the channel, please, if you can, consider becoming a channel member. For £2 a month you get early access to all the videos, or for £4 a month you get exclusive videos that nobody else gets. You also, either way, you get a credit at the end of every video, which you're about to see in a second as well. So please, if you can, I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, if you love poetry, hit subscribe. Again, it's completely free, but it does help me. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. My name's Adam Gary. I'm a poet and a tier maker, apparently. Thank you so much. Take care. See you in the next video.